It is preferable for women not to lead, because they are not designed to physically, mentally or emotionally, and because that is the duty of the man, who is very much designed to lead, as I'm going to show you now. Again, deliberately doing otherwise is defiant and avoidable. God doesn't approve of this, and he won't approve of you if you choose to behave this way. And if that's still not enough for you, as I said at the beginning of this series, I'm going to go through the science. True, indisputable and exact science, which once again corroborates with the Bible, and no, doesn't oppose it, as many of you have been brainwashed to believe. Darwin himself practically debunked his own theory of natural selection when he said that it would absolutely break down if numerous and successive slight modifications could not possibly be responsible for the formation of a complex organ. Well now, thanks to the recent discovery of irreducibly complex molecular machines like the bacterial flagellum, modern science has proven this to be the case, pointing inexorably towards intelligent design. The genetic makeup of a human body is mechanical, not chanced or evolved. We were intelligently designed. That has been proven. Respectfully, that isn't to say that humans or other life forms do not adapt to their environments. However, this was not how we were created. So now let's take a look at how this intelligence created our brains, and what man and woman were designed to do in comparison with sound doctrine and the chaos being taught at Hillsong. Okay then guys, I've been scouring the internet for an image with the left and right brain traits on it. I saw one a long time ago when I was younger, and this was the best summary I could find. Now, two that I would add to this that are quite important, I would say, big ones. Rationality on the left here, and caring on the right. And men tend to use their left brains more, yeah, you probably notice that yourself, whereas women use more of the right brain, yeah. Men are more rational minded, logical, okay, better at maths, yeah, generally speaking, yeah, this is a good generalization. However, some female brains may be larger than the men's in rare cases, but generally this is accurate, and men do have larger brains. I think it's 8 to 13% larger brains. So yeah, we have men more rational minded, logical, they deal with the facts. Idea, I didn't know that one, idea, but these are very strong leadership traits, whereas these aren't so much, okay. And women tend to do nursing, caring and so on, yeah, they're good carers, and they're quite creative as well, yeah. Women generally are very creative, they use more of their right brain. Arts and crafts, yeah, cooking, yeah, making things, creation. Women are a lot more emotional, yeah, and imagination here. So this, I think, is the best summary of the left and right brain that I could find. I'm going to find another one. That there are more on the internet. There's some with many more of these abilities listed, so I'm going to find that for you now as well. So here we go, here's another one, and as we can see on this one it does include rationality. Okay. Another thing is men are more strategic. They like to be in control and work things out. They calculate. Hence why, once again, these are very strong leadership abilities. Symbolic. Part and detail, look. Digital. Logical, that's a very important one, of course. If wanting to be a leader. Mathematical. Objective, linear. Target and direction. System and analytical. Yeah, all very strong leadership abilities there. And then on the right we have art, random, music, big picture, random and free, sorry. Emotion, yeah, hence why women tend to care more, yeah, make good carers. Imagination, dream, surreal, novel, colourful, creative, analogy and fun. There we go. So there are sometimes exceptions to the rule, but you can see why looking at this. The Bible doesn't recommend women acquire positions of leadership. Yeah, it is the duty of the man to lead. And it's no coincidence that scientifically this is the same case. Yeah, the science does support scripture about this. So there we go. There are some reasons why it is preferable that men lead, and why women aren't really meant to be leaders. Okay, they're not designed that way. But it's just a different way of thinking. Yeah. It's not being sexist or anything. This is just how men and women use their brains, and it's better to accept that, acknowledge that, and go with the flow. Yeah. Otherwise, you're just going to cause difficulties for yourself. Another thing I'd also like to point out is that because women tend to be quite emotional, that does drastically affect one's leadership ability also. And I know there are probably some women watching this right now thinking, oh, who does this guy think he is? Oh, I'm a much better leader than you. Not if you're getting too emotional about it, you ain't. Calm your pash, yeah? That's something we used to say as kids, and it's quite relevant here. So when considering one's ability to lead, scientifically, gender isn't necessarily a determining factor. It's more about the size of the brain and which side of the brain is used more. And men do have larger brains, and they use the left side of the brain more than women generally, which is why men make better leaders and are more suited for this position. It's not sexist to say so, it's just common sense. Or perhaps I should say more logical. You could try and go the other way if you want, however, it's just being awkward, and you're only going to cause yourself problems, and then you still can't get around the fact that men do have larger brains. And logically, the only exceptions one should really consider are women who have abnormally larger brains and who have been conditioned from childhood to think more with their left brain. So if none of that is you, then I urge you to seriously reconsider what Hillsong are teaching at their women's conferences. As I said in a previous video, just take a look at how wild and opinionated these women are, taking centre stage and marching like Nazis. Think you can lead? Think again. Why are you even trying to? What are you trying to prove? Because it's going to be a struggle. That's the biblical and scientific truth. These women aren't leading by example. Evidently, they are following in the footsteps of Satan, who has tempted and deceived them all with this abomination that they know is wrong. Thank you very much for proving my point, that of science and that of the Word, with your somewhat noteworthy performance. It's quintessential.